Hey guys, so as promised, I am making my meal prep video right now, and I'm very excited. I haven't really gotten into meal prep as much as I probably should have in my weight loss process. I kind of plan things on like a day-to-day basis, but I'm excited to get everything set up for the week so you don't have to worry about it, especially because I go to night school. I have to bring my dinner to school. So this is gonna make it a lot easier, especially having more healthy options. So I go to night school 4 nights a week, so I have 4 meal containers here that are microwavable, which is good. And then for my food, I'm going to be making brown rice, the healthiest of rices. And I'm gonna include my broccoli. And then for my meats, I'm gonna be switching off from chicken breast to salmon. This is my first time cooking salmon, so it's almost like a learning experience together. This was what my salmon came in. I did research, and buying salmon frozen was not a bad thing to do. That I realized it's just as good as the fresh salmon. It's got pre-portioned, which I'm happy about. It's like already cut into these proportions. It's got the omega-3s that are really good for you, a ton of protein. You really cannot go wrong with salmon. It's low calorie, and it's just great for being on a great nutrition plan and if you're trying to lose weight. So I'm gonna be starting it by preheating my oven to 400 degrees, and while that's going, I have my broccoli simmering on the stove. So for baking salmon, I have asked many people about how to do this. I'm not a pro at this in any way. If you guys are, power to ya. But anyway, on this sheet here, it says that you can cook it frozen because I am an idiot and forgot to leave it in the fridge overnight to thaw, but that didn't happen. So it says that you can cook it frozen in the oven with the skin down at 400 degrees for 35 to 40 minutes because I'm just gonna cook the whole thing. I'm just gonna cook all of it because this is for my week and you can eat it all week. And for my chicken breast, which is also frozen, I'm gonna thaw this in the microwave, and then I'm also going to bake it with some seasoning salts. This is a pretty big chicken breast, you know, it's pretty thick and it's pretty good size, so I just plan on cutting this the long way in half, and then I'm going to cut it another way in the middle. So it should be about 4 ounces each, which is the right amount of meat to eat with your dinner. So before we put the salmon in the oven, you're going to want to get a pan with edges because we're going to be putting butter on top and seasoning it, so we don't want that to run all over the oven. So get a pan with edges, and then I just put some olive oil on the bottom and I spread it all over. So I love that the salmon was pre-cut, so it makes it nice and easy to get them in order rather than having to cut it, especially if you're doing it frozen. So here is the salmon. Hi, kitty. So now I'm just gonna take some butter and I'm just gonna glide that over the salmon. You don't have to use much. I've heard that brown sugar is really good to use with this to give it a little bit of crispiness. I'm just bummed because I don't have any. I am in no way a salmon cooking expert, guys. If I'm doing anything wrong, which I probably am, let me know. So now I'm just gonna take my seasoned salt and I'm just gonna sprinkle that all over the salmon. And then I'm just gonna pop this in the oven for about 40 minutes because they're frozen. So yeah, those are the cooking directions. So of course I started that salmon first because it's gonna take the longest, and I popped my broccoli on the stove at the same time. So if you don't know how to cook broccoli, I just put about 1 inch of water in the bottom of the pan and that whole bag, and I brought it to a boil. So now I'm gonna reduce the heat to low, and I'm gonna pop a cover on it and let that simmer down with the cover on low heat. I'm just gonna check it frequently until it gets to the consistency that I like. I personally love my broccoli super mushy. So now that we're cooking the brown rice, well, everything else is cooking as well. The ratio I'm gonna be doing is for 4 days, and I'm gonna do a 1/4 cup a day. So that's 1 cup of rice and 2 cups of water for this ratio. So to start this, you wanna put your 2 cups of water in the pan. And then I'm just gonna also throw in 1 cup of brown rice. And then with that, I'm also gonna throw in some salt and just a dash of olive oil because I don't want it to stick to the pan inside. There's like nothing left in this bottle. It would probably help if I put the heat on, right? Ha ha ha. Anyway, so now you're gonna let this come to a boil, and it's kind of like the broccoli. After it comes to a boil, you're gonna pop the cover on, and then you're gonna let it simmer for 35 to 40 minutes. Brown rice takes a lot longer than white rice to cook. So now that the brown rice is on the stove, we're gonna go back to the broccoli, kind of check on these. Gonna check on them and see how the texture is going. Oh, good. Almost where I want it. I'm probably gonna leave the broccoli going until it's time to simmer on my rice. So I'm just gonna leave that for a few more minutes and then go back to the rice. So now I'm starting with the chicken. I'm gonna put my heat on a medium flame. And I'm just gonna take a little more olive oil. I'm just gonna spread that in the pan. And I'm gonna take my 4 ounces each of chicken breast. And I'm gonna lay them in the skillet. And to season these, I'm also gonna use what I use on my salmon, my seasoned salts. And then I'm just gonna cover them and let them start to cook and just keep an eye on them. You're gonna wanna flip them after you can see the bottom half becoming more cooked. Now, as you can see, this is a process, my rice is boiled. So I'm going to reduce my heat and cover it. Now that rice is gonna have to sit there with the cover on for the 35 minutes now. Alright guys, so now my broccoli is done. I turned off the stovetop for that so it can just sit there now. It's the perfect softness. I'm just gonna drain out the water. My chicken is about done. As you can see, it's got a nice color to it from the seasoning salts. I'm probably gonna throw some hot sauce on there later because I love hot sauce and it's got no calories, it's awesome. So yeah, I'm just gonna keep checking it, make sure it's cooked all the way, but a nice tenderness to it. And on my back burner here, I just have my rice simmering. So finally, everything is done cooking. We have the brown rice here. We have broccoli, the salmon is all set. And if you guys want to know how to check your salmon, I read that you should be able to like flake up the top, and mine's like flaking, so I'm assuming it's done. I'll try a little bite, it's very good. And then my chicken breast is done as well, so now we can compile our meals, yay! Alright, so I have my 4 containers, which I told you about because I go to school 4 nights a week, and so I'm just going to prep it in proportion to what I, kind of planned it to be. So I'm going to take my salmon and I'm going to take off the bottom skin right here. It just peels right off. I've read that you can eat it and it's a personal preference, but you don't have to eat it. And I'm just going to peel off the fatty layer on the bottom, which I read you should also peel off. I mean, some people eat it, some people don't. It's just a personal preference, and a lot of people said they take it off, so, I'm a newbie to salmon, so if I should be eating it, please comment and let me know. You can kind of just see now it starts to peel back a layer of more plain-looking salmon. It doesn't have that weird gray layer anymore. I'm just peeling that off with a knife and a fork, obviously. Yeah, so it should look something like this. It's only orange because I put on the seasoning salt, and I tried a little bite of it with the seasoning salt, and it is so delicious, I can't even get over it. I'm going to take my rice first, and I'm just going to do about 1/4 of the mixture I need. As you can see, so I'm just going to be taking equal proportions for the 4 of them. And then I'm also going to add in my broccoli. About 1/4 of it, like I said, so it's all about the same. And this is what it's going to look like in each one, except I'm going to rotate also with chicken. So how yummy does that look, guys? It really does, though. And I'm actually also going to take some sriracha sauce. I think that's how you pronounce it, sriracha. I don't know. I like this sauce. It is spicy. It's got a chili sauce, and it's got 5 calories per tablespoon, so you cannot go wrong. If you like spicy, you can try this. I'm just going to pop a little bit of this on my rice. It's just gonna look like this, so yummy, and this will last in the fridge 5 to 6 days. So now I'm just gonna compile the rest of my food and pop them in the fridge. So now you have 4 pre-made meals for your week. And if you're wondering where I got these containers, they're actually from the Dollar Tree. And how cute are they? They're microwavable, freezer friendly, and they're BPA free. Yeah, $1 each, can you believe it? So anyway guys, I am left with 2 4-ounce pieces of chicken and a pretty big piece of salmon, which I plan on just wrapping up separately. Maybe I'll eat a piece of chicken for dinner, or maybe share that salmon with my mom or my boyfriend, whoever. And yes, I can always cook more. I didn't switch up vegetables in this. If you didn't notice, I used just broccoli because I don't really like many other vegetables. I like my cucumbers and like hummus, or cucumbers and, you know, ranch or whatever, feta. But when it comes to like steamed veggies, I only like broccoli, and I might put a little bit of Parmesan cheese on that broccoli as well. If you haven't had Parmesan cheese in your broccoli, it is so good, and if you only eat a little, there's hardly any calories. So yeah, I'm super happy with my meal prep. That only took about an hour, mostly because the salmon takes the longest to cook and the rice. So when you're meal prepping, it's important to plan accordingly with time. Just make sure that everything will come together in an orderly fashion, and it's totally worth it, because look it, now you have all these dinners ready for the week and you don't have to worry about it. Like, I hate when I'm running out the door for school and I'm like, crap, what am I gonna have for dinner? And I grab like a lean cuisine or something, and I mean, that's fine, but this is definitely more filled with whole foods, and it's definitely just better for my overall health, and I'm very, very excited about it. So that was my first time doing like real meal prep, you know, like I've, you know, been researching. So hopefully I did an okay job. I have never cooked salmon, but I did try a little bite of it, and it was actually really delicious. I've had it before, but I never cooked it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if I did anything wrong, I probably did, please comment and give me suggestions for meal prep in the future. There are plenty of other ways to meal prep. There are all sorts of things. Maybe I'll make a snack meal prep video as well, because I do like to prep snacks. Rather than just like, you know, an apple. You can make things interesting, you know, whatever. So I hope this video is helpful, like I said, and I love doing these kinds of videos. This will help us all stay on track. And if you are also on a weight loss journey, follow me on MyFitnessPal and all those fun social networks that I will link below in the description box. Thank you guys so much for watching. Mwah! I love you guys. Bye!